In my previous film, I showcased the underlying theme that the mainstream media missed, that veganism is a new and growing global movement. But now, in 2016, that's changed.
Is that devious, treacherous group, the vegans.
These poor bearded hipster anemics, if you deprive yourself of delicious cheese and meat products, you would be pretty miserable.
The negative response to this online has been staggering. Dear vegans, shut up!
Stay away from them because they're always hungry.
We get some threatening sort of messages and Facebook posts and stuff like that.
They can go and get some lamb.
The movement and the message is happening, but in the other direction I've seen a tremendous amount of hurdles and difficulties.
It's also vegan.
Following 2015, it was clear that veganism could no longer be ignored. Even the meat industry reacted.
There's a lot of resistance when you talk about veganism.
But what this short film is going to suggest is that this response is a sign that times are changing. Veganism is growing while the animal agricultural industries are trying desperately to hold on to their profits. And to understand exactly how this is happening, you have to look to the events of 2016. Early 2016 centred around Dr. Michael Greger.
Please join me in welcoming Dr. Michael Greger.
Dr. Greger is an American physician and public health expert. For years, his views have been ignored by the mainstream, but in 2016, something very different happened. His new book reached the New York Times bestsellers list, and all of a sudden, he was in the media spotlight.
Dr. Michael Greger.
Dr. Michael Greger.
We've got Dr. Michael Greger here.
There's only one diet ever been proven to reverse heart disease in the majority of patients, a plant-based diet. If that's the only thing a plant-based diet can do, reverse a number one killer, a number two killer here in the UK, shouldn't that be the default diet until proven otherwise? And the fact that it can also prevent, arrest, or reverse other leading killers, type 2 diabetes, hypertension, would seem to make the case simply overwhelming.
And Greger's assertion that this information is being distorted by institutions appeared to hold true in 2016 when the US dietary guidelines came out.
The government is out with new guidelines.
The new guidelines from the USDA and Department of Health and Human Services are supposed to tell you what to eat, but critics say they're muddled and confusing, and not by accident.
Critics say the guidelines don't go far enough.
There's new controversy over the American diet.
The government is dropping its recommendation to limit egg consumption on foods high in cholesterol.
Instead of saying eat less meat, they say less than 10% of your diet should come from saturated fat.
People don't know what a saturated fat is.
Instead of eat less meat, eggs, dairy, junk, what do they say? Eat less saturated and trans fatty acids, things like that. Biochemical components, right? Because they don't want to mention foods because that's too politically unpalatable.
The meat industry does not want the American government saying, eat less meat.
We are being manipulated by an industry that thinks that we are cash cows.
These are multi-billion-dollar industries that put a huge amount of effort, not just into advertising their products, but into changing federal policy.
Dr. Neil Barnard is president of the nonprofit Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine, which is suing the government, claiming the egg industry used its influence to try to weaken warnings about cholesterol.
The egg industry is paying universities where these people are then put on the committee to decide whether eggs are safe or not. That's a conflict of interest.
The public is being lied to, right? There are big money commercial interests that are trying to twist the truth. It's like the tobacco industry. It's like today's tobacco industry.
You are not going to get this information from the powers that be because those institutions are controlled. The media is controlled by the meat and dairy industry.
There's a story in the paper today, the headline, fashionable veganism is harming health. You can't get all the nutrients you need.
I worry that this is going to cause less informed people to bring up kids that are not well balanced nutritionally.
Protein, iron deficiencies are the common ones if you're not eating the right foods.
When you look at the plant sources like broccoli, etc., you need to literally consume 20 cups of broccoli to get anywhere near the amount of calcium in a cup of milk.
Long-term vegetarian diet changes human DNA, raising risk of cancer and heart disease. It's well known that people that eat vegetarian diets culturally are shriveled, are weak, are stupid, are infertile.
And the Animal Enterprise Terrorism Act is still being used in 2016, which represents one of many underhanded ways our institutions operate.
So there was a law created called the Animal Enterprise Terrorism Act, and it was focused on just animal rights activists and environmental rights activists. And the law says anyone who disrupts the business of an animal enterprise is committing an act of terrorism.
If you go film inside the place where they make food, you go to jail. They bought your politicians. They bought your vegan. They bought your government. They bought your.
But at the dark heart of this corrupt force in 2016 is the attitude governments and environmental groups still have towards animal agriculture.
Our governments hold international conferences to address climate change and seek solutions. All the while, the single most devastating force behind our planet's environmental collapse remains not only unspoken, but actually actively denied by the very organizations charged with saving our planet.
Animal agriculture is responsible for 24% of greenhouse gas emissions compared to the 13% of all global transportation. This was according to a 2016 report funded by the United Nations Environment Programme and backs up previous reports by the FAO and World Watch. And there is now a general consensus that animal agriculture is the leading cause of not just global warming, but also water depletion, deforestation, species extinction, ocean dead zones, and antibiotic resistance. But why is this largely unspoken? Why are the countless studies that have come out in 2016 often ignored? And why are there still so many tax-funded meat and dairy subsidies?
We are supporting.
I think that
our government is supporting. Let me finish.
All right,
our government gives $30 billion to underwrite cheap meat, which is destroying the planet and poisoning people.
What's happening to animals right now, you would not wish on your worst enemy.
That's what the meat and the dairy industry have accomplished so far.
Why are ag-gag laws sweeping the US, which aim to hide the practices of factory farming? Is it because we're collectively revealing the truth about animal agriculture?
Thanks to the internet age, we now have this democratization of information. Now everyone has access.
Something just in the past couple of years, you can just kind of feel it. Like this transformation of just information passes so fast, you can't hide things from people.
Unlike before, industries and institutions do not have as much power. No longer do they hold a monopoly as gatekeepers of knowledge.
Increasingly, people know what's wrong with animal products.
Today's generation is growing up with considerable knowledge about the environment and how individual decisions can impact it.
It's the biggest and most urgent secret that finally, thank goodness, is getting out.
Due to the internet, resources are now available online, and information about the horrors of farmed animals' lives and the impact of animal agriculture are clear for the world to see. Powerful and thought-provoking documentaries like Plant Pure Nation are now up, and others are due to come out, which all highlight the growing consensus that a plant-based vegan diet is optimal for health.
The nutrients in a plant-based diet are more dense, they're more bioavailable, and they come free of harmful side effects that meat and dairy cause.
Here are the 15 leading reasons Americans die, and a plant-based diet can help prevent nearly all of them, can help treat more than half of them, in some cases even reverse the progression of disease.
If we aren't eating animals for health, and we don't need to kill and eat them to survive and be healthy, what are we doing this to them for?
Perhaps because of this increased awareness, veganism has broken growth and sales records in 2016. The vegan hashtag on Instagram has been used 25% more this year. In addition, the Veganuary stats proved 2016 was twice as popular as the previous year. Interest in vegan Easter eggs were at the highest levels ever. And while vegetarian menus were shown to be up 66% in the US, veganism has been on the march in the UK.
How many vegans do you know? This is the question. Well, the answer is probably more than you think, because there's a new survey printed today that we're going to talk about that says the number of vegans in Britain has gone up by how much, Sarah Jane?
A whopping 350%.
Whopping.
Welcome to the vegan movement, right?
That's right.
There is a movement happening.
Similarly to last year, many huge YouTube channels have started to promote veganism in 2016, including Ricky Dillon, Alexandra's Girly Talk, Andre Rosset, Natalie Tran, The Chick Natural, Mo Murderess, My Life Is Ever, Tana Mojo, and Carly Bible. Many of these social media stars have claimed changing as a result of Freely, an important vegan protagonist whose influence continues to increase even into mainstream media.
You can eat as much plant foods as you want, and you can feel amazing, and you can look your best, and you can also look after animals at the same time.
And while other vegan social media personalities continue to increase in popularity, the notorious Vegan Gains was awarded Vice's YouTube Channel of the Week this year, and internet sensation Clell picked up an award from the Humane League for her online work discussing veganism.
I 100% believe that I will see a vegan earth before I die.
As all of these influential social media profiles have promoted the lifestyle, consumer preferences have changed. For example, in the UK and Israel, meat and dairy consumption has dropped. Also in Australia, meat consumption has reduced, led by a 57% reduction in veal and a 15% reduction in beef. Likewise in Canada, the beef market share has plunged. Food corporations around the world have been quick to adapt to the new preferences, and there have been a number of announcements in 2016. Hellmann's, who recently dropped their lawsuit against Hampton Creek's vegan mayonnaise, have now decided to make vegan mayonnaise themselves, while Hampton Creek announced that they're to introduce 43 new vegan products to Walmart and Target. New vegan milks have also come out, as well as alcohol. Ben & Jerry's have released 4 dairy-free ice creams, vegan Twix bars are now available, Daiya have introduced new vegan salad dressings, and in Switzerland, Veggie bars and vegan ice cream have made it into the biggest shop chains. In the UK, Flora have released their first vegan product. The long-established company Corn announced that they're to become an exclusively vegan company, and convincing vegan egg substitutes are now being sold. New vegan options are coming out, and are now available at many restaurants in the UK, including Wetherspoon, Zizzi's, Las Iguanas and Handmade Burger Company. Pret A Manger's new veggie-only store has been a great success. The vegan burger that Wendy's currently market was 3 times more talked about than Wendy's itself. And Vegans, the world's first all-vegan supermarket chain, continues to open stores. This vegan retail growth in the last few months has led to vegan food management courses being set up at universities and a plant-based food association being launched. Meanwhile, Australia's best pie of the year is vegan, and a new report came out predicting how the meat substitute market is expected to boom by 2020. This led to LinkedIn, Business Insider, Popular Science and the Food Channel all writing articles showing how the vegan market is due to affect the world economy. Even the meat industry have taken notice.
Very recently, in the Meeting Place magazine, which is a leading industry meat publication, the cover story was on plant-based meats. Was on,
meat substitute market.
Right, meat substitute market. And they're saying, look, we got the distribution, we got the machines, we got like the sausage-making machines. We should be, these vegan companies are taking away our market share. Let's get into this.
The innovative company Impossible Foods trialled their first vegan burger this year, which sold out in 1 hour. It is designed to mimic the taste and texture of a beef burger, and will be commercially available in 2017.
They have learned how to extract actual red blood from plants, and they have essentially make a vegetarian vegan burger that actually has real blood.
Other related companies include, but are not limited to, Beyond Meat, Follow Your Heart and Hampton Creek.
Jim, there are 400,000 species of plants out there, and you got to ask yourself why 92% of them haven't been looked at to make your food better. And we got a team of data scientists led by a guy that used to lead Google Maps and YouTube's data team, biochemists, computational biologists, phenomenal chefs and food scientists that find the best of them.
Everything you enjoyed before, you can enjoy. You like burgers, we got veggie burgers. You like burgers, we got anything you want. You like ice cream, we got ice cream. Like anything. Okay. That's great. That's a way to slowly shift the market, shift people over.
Also in 2016, there have been other advances. New alternative research methods are being used in medicine for drug testing that do not use animal models. Other technologies also come out, such as iAnimal, and animal rights activists have claimed a number of victories, starting with SeaWorld.
But this morning, SeaWorld CEO announcing a change in the tides, saying all of its signature orca shows will be coming to an end.
Sea Shepherd, an anti-poaching and marine conservation organisation, have now effectively shut down illegal fishing in Antarctica. And in the fashion world, existing companies have switched to more ethical materials, new vegan brands have come out, and media outlets like Vogue have started to promote vegan products. Tesla have confirmed that their new SUV model is vegan. In the movie world, the pro-vegan film The Herd won many awards and is free online for the world to see. And the acclaimed animated film Bear Story, which is about the brutality experienced by circus animals, won the Best Animated Short Film at the Oscars.
Their story, Gabriel Osorio.
In 2016, many professional athletes have switched to a vegan diet, inspired by many long-term athletes who have been thriving and setting new records.
Such as David Hay, you may as well sign up to face a firing squad at dawn. With a massive right hand, the man's in real trouble. He's down on the canvas. He's with swing now. Get your foot on it, Timothy. There we go. Is a vegan coming? Is that like Mr. Spock? That's Bolton. Coming Bolton. I give up. He's known as a live wire, and it's another electrified performance. Here we go. Title as well, but it's a rare occurrence to see a boxer get floored with a jab. Arnold Jajai just appears to be looking for a place to fall. Every time he's hit here, isn't he? He appears to be looking to a place to fall here every time he's hit with a shot. David Hay, well, I'm sure has received more opposition during sparring than he's receiving here. Arnold Jajai being completely overwhelmed.
Wow, that's huge.
Oh, man.
That's huge.
And that ties his best ever.
Yeah.
A number of celebrities have promoted veganism in 2016. Leonardo DiCaprio shared a pro-vegan Mercy for Animals video on his Twitter page. French entrepreneur and Vine and Snapchat star Jerome Jarre has been directing his following to vegan documentaries. Singer-songwriter Sia donated $50,000 to an animal charity. Sharon Osbourne has publicly condemned the savagery of wearing fur, and others have spoken out, including Miley Cyrus, Professor Green, Lenny Kravitz, Stevie Wonder, NFL star Griff Whalen, and six-time world poker champion Daniel Negreanu. Fast and Furious actress Michelle Rodriguez has switched to a vegan diet, as well as Ariana Grande, hip-hop star Wiley, rapper 360, DJ Khaled, and NFL star Tyrann Mathieu. Paramore's lead singer Hayley Williams launched a new vegan hair dye company called Good Dye Young. Hip-hop god Russell Simmons released a new book called The Happy Vegan, and Harry Potter actress Evanna Lynch gave public speeches about veganism. Tennis giant Novak Djokovic and Moby have both opened vegan restaurants, and Pamela Anderson has released a new vegan fashion line.
Compassion is in fashion, it's sexy, and I think we have to do something to save the world.
But there were some odd events in 2016. SeaWorld employed a number of staff, but it was revealed that many worked to spy on vegans. The Independent spread an article as a recent story, but really it had been published in 2014. Singing star Christina Grimmie continued her animal rights activism, but was shot dead in June. Hunting videos were actively promoted by YouTube, but vegan educational videos were censored. The corporate media claimed to be impartial, but covered the dairy industry's plummeting sales in a very biased way.
A CSIRO survey has found 1 in 6 Australians are ditching dairy without a medical diagnosis. It's leading to dangerous levels of serious health risks arising from a lack of calcium.
It sums up the strange mood of our time, where even though openness to the vegan lifestyle has never before been better received, the media continue to provide a vaudeville of anti-vegan content. It creates doubt in people's minds, making them unsure about the lifestyle and defiant to the movement.
Listen, I don't know what it means. I just know that I'm supposed to hate it.
Why are you supposed to hate it?
The internet tells me to hate it.
Vegan is basically no animal products, period. Like,
okay, I do hate it.
We're running up against some really, we're walking in some tall grass.
There are a number of political, economic, and certainly cultural hurdles that we need to continue to work on.
However, bedrock assumptions about the need for animal agriculture are being questioned, and it is clear that a prevailing message is emerging. As with other social justice movements, veganism's boom in popularity can largely be attributed to increased grassroots participation. Just take International Earthlings Experience Day, where activists took to the streets to protest across 37 cities around the world. They had a simple message, one that promoted health, sustainability, transparency and equality for all. And veganism's values are also morphing into and influencing businesses, political policy and medical practice.
I'm a street fighter. I'll get down and dirty with you. I'll do whatever I can to save your children, to save your community, to save a medical care system, to save the environment, and even these days to save the animals.
The UK dietary guidelines came out this year, where they reduced the recommended dairy consumption. In Finland, many children's daycare centres are going plant-based, and vegan medical clinics have opened up in the US.
Medicine is on the absolute cusp of a seismic revolution in health.
The Netherlands placed a hard limit on the amount of recommended meat consumption, and in Denmark, a red meat tax is being considered to fight climate change, with the long-term goal of applying to all animal products. This was supported by UN expert Martin Hager, who called for a worldwide tax. Also in China, the Ministry of Health has urged citizens to limit animal product consumption. In addition, the environmental organisation Greenpeace have started to talk about the benefits of veganism. Although these changes have often not come about from a motivation to care for animals, which is the cornerstone of veganism, they appear to be part of the jigsaw puzzle and will help begin the transition to a vegan future.